Miracle Boy Boxing. I am your host and crew, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to talk to you guys about some bummer news, actually. I found out last night, that the Xander Zayas versus Patrick Texeria fight has been postponed, likely till June. They said it was supposed to take place on the Oshaki Foster versus Abraham Nova fight on February 16th in New York, Madison Square Garden. But it's no longer taking place. I mean, it was rumors, and it was talked about, but it was never announced. You know, Zayas, around this time, Zayas would have already announced that he would be fighting on the card. So it kind of felt a bit fishy, like some questions like, okay, why isn't this fight announced yet if it's supposed to be on the co-main of that fight card? And February 16th right around the corner. And so this news came up that, based on Mike Coopinger, who's solid when it comes to boxing news and stuff, he said the Xander Zayas versus Patrick Texeria junior middleweight bout has been postponed and is now expected to take place in June, sources told ESPN. Zayas' first bout against a former champion, Andres Cortez Bryan. Well, before I get into that, former champion Patrick Texeria, who's known to defeating Carlos Adames, who is now the current WBC interim middleweight champion of the world, who's one of the most dangerous 160 pounders right now. Patrick Texeria defeated him back in 2019 in a very, very competitive fight. Second half of the fight, Patrick Texeria, from coming from behind the scorecards, he rallied, man, bloody face and all, came back and beat down and out hustled Carlos Adames. After Carlos Adames faded in the second half of the fight. So Patrick Texeria is a live dog for Xander Zayas. So this fight has been postponed, likely to June, they said, for the Puerto Rican Day Parade, obviously. You know, Xander Zayas, he's always welcome for that event. You know, and he's always, he looks forward to that event. Any Puerto Rican does, any Puerto Rican boxer. So that's that. And then the replacement, you have to have a replacement. Andres Cortez versus Brian Papi Chavaler is the new ESPN co-feature to the Oshaki Foster versus Abraham Nova fight. It's a decent fight. Papi Chari, had been labeled as the top 126 in the world in Puerto Rico for some time, now 130. Tall, lengthy guy, undefeated. Good punching power. But has not faced elite or solid competition as yet. So far, this is supposed to be his biggest test to date against Andres Cortez. Andre Cortez, never heard of him. First time finding out about him. Andres Cortez, seems he is, of course, Hispanic. Professional record, he's undefeated, guys. 20-0, 11 knockouts. He'll be fighting Papi Chari. Now, Andre Cortez defeated Luis Melendez, Puerto Rican boxer. We all know him, who defeated Thomas Matisse. Close fight against Eduardo Ramirez. And his last fight was to Andres Cortez. And last fight, he defeated Javier Martinez by technical decision, by stoppage. So now Papi Chari is going to be fighting Andre Cortez, who has a pretty solid resume. From 2020 to this year, from last year, he has a pretty good record. A lot of his fights are winning records. A lot of the opponents he fought are winning records. Papi Chari has not fought anywhere near those type of competition based on the records that I'm seeing. So, big win for Papi Chari if he can get it done. Tough task ahead of him. His O is definitely in jeopardy in this fight. We'll see, man. It is what it is. Another Mexico versus Puerto Rico fight on hand in this one. And then, you got the main event between Oshaki and Abraham Nova. So this fight will be replacing Xander Zayas versus Patrick Texeria. So likely, they say June. So Xander Zayas versus Patrick Texeria is going to be on tap for the Puerto Rican Day Parade. The main event, likely will be, hopefully, Teofimo Lopez defending his WBO junior welterweight title against the boogeyman at 140, the most dangerous man at 140, Subriel Brownie Matias. That is the rumor fight, the planned fight, in my opinion. And the thing is, Teofimo has to win his fight first on the Super Bowl weekend. He's got to win that fight against Jermaine Ortiz, who's no slouch. Jermaine Ortiz is not a guarantee, man. Like, when it comes to going in there with him, Teofimo is a hell of a fighter. He's the A side here, but Jermaine is a live dog, and he had the chance to upset this fight and cause an upset on Teofimo. And, you know, this is boxing, man. Anything can happen. Especially when you got two hands. You got a guy in there with two hands. Anything can happen. So it's a good fight. It's a great fight, actually. Teofimo versus Jermaine Ortiz, man. That's a hell of a fight. So, but Teofimo has to win that fight first in order for him to get that Matias fight. If he really wants to fight Matias, you know, that's what I say to everyone. If you really want to fight Matias, do you really want to fight him? And if so, well, we expect Teo versus Matias in June. If that's what it is, then once Teo wins, I'm sure he'll be making the call out during his post-fight interview. Let's get this fight on, Matias. So we'll see. First things first, Jermaine Ortiz, who's no slouch, who's no joke, who had the chance to upset Teofimo. First things first, Jermaine Ortiz. And that's that. But Xander Zayas versus Patrick Texeria on tap for June for the Puerto Rican Day Parade. They say June, so it's going to be on tap for that. We'll see what happens. Miracle Boy Boxing. I'm your host, Austin Cruz. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, guys. It's always a pleasure to talk to you guys about boxing. See you guys in my next video. Peace.